the 21st.
Yes, it is. Thank you. And welcome to the Swine Brothers Show for episode 119 for October 21st, 2016. You can email us at cosmicgodsdie at gmail.com, or the old one at ELL. In the Mood is still working, but this one just sounds better. Facebook, as always, is Swine Brothers, and Twitter's Swine Bros 666. I am still your host, Ellie Lindemood, and my co-host is still
The Jim. I defecate on the universe.
That's a lot of shit. You must have eaten some fiber or some shit.
It's Taco Bell.
Laxatives. Chug X-Lax every day. No metal album news. I think Testament comes out today, but it might come out the next week. I don't know. I already have it. So once you already kind of have the album, you just kind of don't pay attention to when shit comes out.
Yay.
But there is plenty of metal news and plenty of the good old metal drama when people outside of metal decide to interfere.
No, we have Blast Beat cancel Pete Noir's appearance at festival due to Antifa pressure.
Blast Fest, it's Norway. And Pest Noir, I believe, means Black Plague. I know because in French, I know because there's a statement in French on this thing that I've actually translated. Yeah, Black Pest Noir, I believe, means Black Plague. Yes, Antifa, whatever, canceled this this band. Now, let's see why they canceled it.
Do you remember when earlier this year Phil Anselmo's Down suffered some backlash after Anselmo's racist display at Dime Bash event?
Yes, we covered it like eight episodes in a row until I was literally begging Jim, please no more.
That incident caused several promoters to drop down from their bill, including a show in their own hometown and the Dutch festival Forte Rock. Down was eventually forced to cancel their scheduled appearances throughout Europe, despite having the support of bigger festivals like Hellfest and Grasspop. But now there's another band facing a similar issue. Norwegian extreme metal band festival Blastfest just announced the cancellation of one of its headliners, Pest Noir, after the French Antifa faction pressured the organizers and supporters of the fest to do so.
This is the same, well, not the same fact, but the same group who've pepper sprayed black metal concerts, who've stopped Asheron shows for no good reason. Basically anything that looks fascistic, or I believe they're also the ones who are trying to stop Satanic War Master from playing and stopping Bound for Glory from playing there, although it really Bound for Glory is kind of a justified target, but still I don't think they should stop them playing.
Yeah. To bring you up to speed about the band, Pest Noir have been suspected of being a National Socialist band after frontman Laissez Famine de Valfond discussed his political views in some interviews, leading to many to believe this band was an NSBM. To clarify those ideas, Famine released the following statement.
Now, it's in French. I have read a very broken English translation of it, and basically says, I am not a Nazi. We talk about class struggle, not Hitler, but I am proud of being French and European. So basically, it's a nationalist band. They talk about nationalism. It's not National Socialism. There is a big difference there.
Yes.
A very big difference. That's basically what the statement. You can look at you can translate it if you want at home, but that's basically what the statement is.
The statement caught the attention of some Antifa leaders in France, where the band is originally from, and they decided to pressure the festival's venue to cancel the band's appearance. Blastfest sent the following letter to the band stating, "Hey Famine, the statement you sent was not approved. And also today we got mail from the venue with a copy of an anonymously sent email from French Antifa to the bosses of our festival hotel and to our catering company to inform and complain, and that sealed the deal for our partners.
Very democratic. I mean, freedom of expression, as long as you don't say anything that we don't like. And the funny thing is, it used to be the right wing trying to censor people. Now it's the left.
Mm-hmm. As much as principles are important to us and was fought for as hard as we could, it now falls down to canceling Pest Noir or canceling Blast Fest. And that choice we needed to make.
I'd cancel the show. I mean, I wouldn't put up with this shit. I guess, I mean, regardless, you're going to get bad publicity.
Mm-hmm. We have no choice but to become yet another festival defeated by pressure from outside to cancel Pest Noir. And an official statement followed that, as Pest Noir already announced on their page, we have been forced to cancel their show at Blast Fest. As much as we love the brilliant music of this band and how much we have stated that we are a musical platform and no politics are involved in our concept, the amount of political focus created due to booking is badly affecting our existence. Our partners have been pushed very hard, and we now reached a point where we have to decide to stand by our choice and ultimately cancel the whole festival or cancel Pest Noir. So we'll keep going, creating a great metal fest for all metalheads, unfortunately without Pest Noir.
And the backlash has been swift and severe for the show, actually.
The whole ordeal has many fans upset about interference of the anti-fascist group in the festival, including Finnish black metal band Horna, who decided to cancel their own appearance at the fest in solidarity towards Pest Noir.
Which, by the way, top move in my opinion.
Good move.
They're canceling a performance that on a big venue. I mean, okay, Blast Fest isn't huge, but it's a big festival with a lot of people, and they're actually willing to say, look, we'll sacrifice some of our money for this. Yeah, that's a great. I like Horna. They're a very good band. Top BM.
Earlier this year, band Napalm Death decided to pull out of Blast Fest, presumably due to the booking of Pest Noir.
I've heard conflicting stories about that, but see, that's the thing. They didn't take it to the anti-fascist group. They was like, look, we don't want to play with this band. We're gonna pull out. It's fine.
Yeah. What's interesting to point out is that among the bands playing, Phil Anselmo's Scour is scheduled to play, but hasn't been any pushback about them.
How funny is that Phil Anselmo? I mean, people just don't have long attention spans.
No, they don't. They just want to fucking. Oh God, this is so idiotic.
But yeah, tip of the cap to Horna for standing up to some principles here.
Yeah.
I mean, the way to get people to understand is threaten to cancel the whole show. If not do it, at least because your fans aren't going to like that, and your fans are going to complain, and basically see Antifa for what it is. It's the most fascist organization here.
Yeah. The festival has plans to proceed as planned, but at this point, it's hard to figure out how much this would affect the festival.
Well, okay, Napalm Death pulling out was like in January, so that was. But now you've got one of the headline bands and another really good band pulling out. People aren't going to want to come. I mean, I would have come for Horn. I don't know all the bands playing, but I would have just went. I don't live in Norway, but if I found out this was happening, I'd probably stay home.
God. This is such filth.
Sticking it, but Blastfest has no principles apparently.
Now look, he's got a shaved head, and he says something that's kind of nationalist. So, like, let's label him as NS. Let's go that route.
Yes, and and,
Uh,
and, and by the way, they don't really talk about it in their music, and even if they do, can't really understand what they're saying anyway. But yeah, there's a difference between nationalists and national socialists. The difference is quite wide. Hello, Charles.
Hello. Yeah, there's also a very big difference between National Socialism and socialism as well.
Yes,
mhm.
yes.
And that's what a lot of people in the American press tend not to remember. And a
Well,
lot of people in general in politics.
well, because we're talking about antifa canceling or
Oh, the anti-fascist movement.
pressuring a band, pressuring a festival into canceling a band. Whoa. Sorry, somebody decided to roar Harley Davidson. I don't know if you can hear that. That was awesome. Basically,
I heard of something.
pressuring a festival into canceling a band, one of the headlining band, because they might be nationalists. This is the same people. These are the same people who pepper sprayed concerts, who've stopped the band Ashron from performing because they labeled themselves satanic fascists. Not NS, but yeah. They basically they're not friends of metal.
No. And they deserve to be purged.
Yes, they do, and hopefully, if
They
you live
got
in
that
Norway,
friendly name because they got that friendly name. Who isn't against fascism? But you're being 10 times more fascist than most fascists I know. Literal fascists.
yes, and that's the first cigarette of the show. Well, the first rolled cigarette of the show.
Hmm.
So we're gonna be keeping tabs on that. So yeah, it's just funny to me. It's just so if you live in Norway and you might go see Blastfest, I suggest spending your money on something a little more worthwhile, like I don't know, a hug from a prostitute or something.
Ah, there we go.
Even
Anyway,
a hug. How fucking disappointing would that be?
Lords of Chaos black metal film gets a cast described as train spotting for millennial generation.
And that
I,
just sounds bad.
I didn't like train spotting.
I didn't either, if I'm completely honest.
And trying to envision that as
Black metal.
what? Yeah, how? God.
I've read the book Lords of Chaos, and I thought it was an enjoyable book, other than the kind of try to push to basically present LaVeyan Satanism and Crowley, Crowley's whatever the religion as the true essence of the occult, and everything else is just shallow blasphemy and childish, and LaVey is the only real Satanist or whatever. And I thought that was a bit stupid, but I thought the book was interesting. But this just looks. Anyway, continue with the. I haven't actually read this.
Lords of Chaos, The Bloody Rise of the Satanic Metal Underground, is a book written by Michael Mollahan and Didrik Sutherland.
Sutherland. Yeah.
Sunderland. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. And was originally published in 1998. The book chronicles the early years of the black metal scene, which, as you know, includes the murder of Mayhem's Euronymous, various other killings, and some church burning.
Yay.
According to an article published by Deadline, Vice Films, Insurgent Media, Chimney Pot, and 20th Century Fox
Oh, great.
are all partnering together. God, this is going to go to complete shit.
It will. God.
God.
I mean, we already have enough drama in the black metal scene with shoegaze black metal and post black metal and indie rock black metal. Do we really need this? I mean, because you know what's going to happen, right? People who have no interest in it will see the movie and think, well, oh, that's what black metal is, and get into it and oh god, just the posers will just overrun the scene.
That's the plan. Get the posers in and fucking shit.
And Dimmu Borgir will be the biggest black metal band in the face of the earth. Oh, they already are. But God, there'll be 1,000 more Dimmu Borgirs.
And it'll be directed by Jonas Ackerland. Little known fact.
The funny thing about Jonas Ackerland is he's actually the original drummer for the band Bathory before embarking on a film career.
The film will star Emery Cohen, Jack Kilmer, and Sky Fiera, alongside Rory Culkin, who you might know from Signs and Scream 4. Dear God.
I want to know who's playing who. You're really going to get a guy from Scream 4 to try to portray black metal. Something that...
Random victim number 3. Random victim number 3, please.
Oh.
In the English language film Lords of Chaos, based on true events in the Norwegian black metal music scene in the early 90s.
Based on?
Probably very loosely.
Yeah.
They got 20th Century Fox involved.
God. Vice Films.
Oh,
that's the film branch of Vice Media, I believe, right?
Oh, God. This is going to go to... Fuck! Why?
That's what Varg Vikernes asks. And, the funny thing is they don't actually have to ask permission to have Vikernes because they're using his thing from the book, not his actual... Oh, God. So he's probably going to be Count Grishnak. That was his old stage name. I want to see the movie. Okay, I'll be honest. I'm going to watch this movie. And if it's half as shit as I think it'll be, it's going to suck.
Insurgent Media's Esna Sands said of the film, "This is a premise with unique universal appeal, a kind of train spotting for the millennial generation."
What was the appeal of train spotting?
I don't know.
What exactly was the appeal of train spotting?
I don't know.
Chaz.
Well, Train Spotting.
Have you seen it?
What, the film?
Yes.
Yeah. It's about a bunch of Scottish people being on heroin, except one guy called Bigby, who's like, there's this great bit where he throws this pint glass over its head and it hits this bird in the face, and everyone starts getting all sort of, aggy as to what's happened, and he just suddenly comes out and goes, "Some cunt has just glassed this lass in the face, and I'm not leaving here till I find out which one of your cunts did it." And then it starts a big fight.
Yeah, that's kind of whatever. But what's the appeal of it again?
See, I don't really know. I think I'd see from what I can basically get from the sort of subtext of what a lot of people say as to why they like the film. It's that kind of thing that is almost gimmick grit. This is just so true. This is just so real. It's like Russell Brand and his trues. It's not actual proper grit. It's not actual proper reality. It is this fake pseudo grit, fake pseudo reality. This kind of like that whole way of like that fake corporate music is not an art form. It's just about making money. People like Taylor Swift, all these people whose music sounds the exact fucking same and has done for 30 years.
Fake reality.
Yeah, it's kind of like this artificial form of sort of like, it's like things that they come across as being in some way intellectual, that somehow you're intellectually superior because you liked it. Oh, I read the Harry Potter, or I read the Hunger Games rather than Twilight. I must be so fucking clever. And it's not actually a truly really gritty or anything like that. It's not really actually that amazing, but the culture around it just seems to think that it's good, and it really isn't. I've watched Train Spotting. Apart from the odd funny bit where Bigby's in it, most of the film is quite boring.
So That's going to be the
It's one of these overrated movies like Fight Club.
Every movie's overrated.
A lot of the kind of
Eve,
critically acclaimed ones often are.
But so, I mean, I'll watch Lords of Chaos. I'll watch the movie, but I'm not expecting it to be anything.
This is God.
Train spotting for millennials.
Oh God.
So it'll be stylized.
Yeah, completely stylized. Like, oh God, look at this. This is so fucking edgy. Instead of like, there were real ideas going back and forth, and they're not going to focus an ounce on them.
No, some toxic, but some actually worth looking into, and others worth looking into just to debunk them. But no, it's going to be basically church burning, murder, church burning, suicide.
Absolutely no idea what the fuck's going on.
Yes, but I'll watch it just to fucking, because I have to,
This is the start of a hugely exciting journey along with teams at Fox, Vice, and Scott Free. Fuck you. Die.
Vice. Seriously. It's going to be hipster. See, it's either going to be... See, like I said, I don't see them doing it justice. Because I don't think a movie about black metal would be that interesting, to be honest. I mean, I think books would be interesting because why did they do what they did? What are some of the ideas that they had? But this is just going to be, hey, look, he's killing someone.
Fucking piece of shit not working the way I want it to.
Oh,
I said go to a site I wanted you to go to.
So that's the metal news for today. Both black metal side don't support antifa, and I suggest torrent Lords of Chaos when/if it's ever released.
This is fine.
Because this thing's been in production for about 10 years.
I hate kind of... I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not really a fan of fascism. Out of all of the political sort of ideologies, it's the one that just comes with the most instant slippery slopes and bad moral quandaries to it instantly.
I'm a fan of fascism if I'm the fascist.
But at the same point, these antifa people, they're kind of like they parody fascists so well a lot of the time. It's scary.
Well, it doesn't matter.
It's kind of like the people who are trying to fight monsters and looking into abysses.
Well, it doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't matter if you like it or not. People should be allowed to express their beliefs. If someone wants to express their beliefs, they should be allowed to. And then we should be allowed to criticize those beliefs and go, look, here's why it's wrong. But silencing people isn't going to work. And no, I've long ago thought that people shouldn't be allowed to think for themselves because they make the wrong decisions. That's why I should be your fascist overlord.
Meanwhile, I just sit here and I ponder, why the fuck does this shit keep happening?
Because it's the human race, Jim. You sound surprised.
I'm not surprised. I'm just disappointed.
I'm not even disappointed anymore.
I mean, after spending years saying, oh, you fucking religious fucktards, get the fuck away from my music. Now I have to go, you fucking liberal fucktards, get the fuck away from my music.
The targets change, but the goals are still the same.
Yeah.
Isn't it beautiful in an ugly sort of way?
Mm-hmm. Anyways, CNN host claims it's illegal for public to view WikiLeaks emails and says to trust them on what they say.
Do not view. Trust us. We know the way.
Do not check our facts, because we are truth.
We are that should be the Swine Brothers motto. Don't get second opinions. Trust Elliot for everything. Actually, I think our Swine Brothers motto is get second opinions. If you see an article that you think we got wrong or we read a fake article without realizing it, please tell us.
Yeah. Anyway, CNN's Chris Cuomo, I don't even care, told his viewers it's illegal for them to possess emails leaked by the website WikiLeaks. And as a result, they could not read them and had to rely entirely on the media, whose approval rating is at 6% for all media outlets. It's lower than fucking Congress at 8%. To learn about their content. God, this is how much we trust the media. Trust us, please. No. Cuomo's comments were made early Wednesday morning, but they attracted no attention until a clip was uploaded to YouTube Sunday morning, which they have here. In the clip, Cuomo opens a segment on leaked emails from Hillary Clinton campaign chairman John Podesta's inbox by warning viewers they have to get all their information about the emails from the media and nowhere else. Fuck you. If they try to check out the emails themselves, Cuomo warns they're breaking the law. Also,
breaking the law.
The quote from here is also interesting is, remember, it's illegal to possess these stolen documents. It's different for the media, so everything you're learning about this, you're learning from us.
By the way, WikiLeaks can review that.
WikiLeaks can what?
I said, by the way, the email contents can be viewed at, and then we post a link to the email contents, I think.
Yes, we will.
I think that's really the only. I think that's really the only thing we can do. And if we get arrested, I'll blame it all on Chaz.
Cuomo's claim is. He says, good. Cuomo's claim is faulty on a few counts. While the government might potentially prosecute somebody purely for the act of downloading stolen documents, legal experts are divided on whether such a prosecution would be constitutional.
I don't think they can. And by the way, if you don't use a proxy, what the hell's wrong with you? If you don't use a VPN and a proxy, what the hell's wrong with you? My internet thinks I'm broadcasting from Sweden, so.
Even if downloading the emails were illegal, that is totally irrelevant in this case because nobody has to download the WikiLeaks emails in order to read them. They're freely available to read on a website anybody can access.
Oh, fuck, that's great.
Whatever the legal status of downloading the emails, there is absolutely no restriction on simply reading them, despite what Cuomo implies.
And even if so, so they're going to track you, and it just seems a little implausible to me. Then again, I mean, I've been torrenting music for years now, and nobody's ever fucking.
Well, I mean, we always hear this. I mean, I remember hearing this back in 2002 and 2003, you know, when the whole Napster thing happened. Oh, yeah, we're going to find you. And there was supposedly news reports of kids who have been arrested for pirating films. And there was the odd person who was arrested, but that was just by the by.
Yeah, it never happened to us. It never happened to. We used Kazaa, not Napster, because.
Yeah, I'd missed the Napster days, and when I started. Usually, it was things like downloading episodes of Scrubs and the occasional porn video to pull the old sausage to.
We were doing music. Basically, you can download a song for free. Why? Because
I used to download the odd bit of music, but mainly mine was downloading.
It was a predecessor to LimeWire, and why it sucked was the same exact reason LimeWire sucked. First of all, I don't like songs. I want albums. Second of all, you never quite know what you're getting, and if someone's not online, you can't download it.
On LimeWire, you could get albums, and on Kazaa. You didn't just have to download single songs, but it was harder to. I'll give you it was harder to find albums.
Yes,
than it was to find individual songs.
And songs are mislabeled, shitty bit rates, things like that.
Yeah. oh, I used to have that problem all the time. Or they're in fucking stupid formats. I mean, you still get it now. If you go on things like Pirate Bay and stuff, you still get some really bad files on there and bullshit things.
Yeah, but it usually says in the description or in the comments, this file's fake or this file's bad or whatever.
Yeah, but you don't always get anything like that. Sometimes people haven't bothered even downloading it.
Yeah, well, like I said, it seems to have kind of fixed itself. But yeah, that's the funny thing about. So that's why I stopped using LimeWire. I was tired of the crap. Just I download this and it sounds like it's. Oh wait, it is a radio rip. Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. So remember, kids, always trust the media, even though the trust rating for the media is at 6%.
Finally, I mean, I remember 10 years ago the mainstream media was trusted. I was the only one who didn't trust the mainstream media and actually went to alternative sources. And they were like, "No, the media is our friend."
Got it.
No, at one stage you could trust the mainstream media because the people in them generally had some sort of vague idea of sort of some journalistic ethics and, took their positions as authorities as responsibilities, not like they do now as and abuse them.
In America, at least, that's before I was born.
Oh, yeah, I'm going back a long old day. Back when journalists used to do the work of WikiLeaks, and now they seem to be condemning WikiLeaks for doing the work of journalists.
I remember back in my day, you could trust the media. I was surprised Jim's
Well, the thing is that you had the media.
That, I didn't trust it back in my day.
Well, you have to go back a little bit even further. Than you have to go back to the 60s and 70s, to when the media was the fourth branch of government in a way. It held everything accountable. It was here's what here. You think you're patriotic and you think you support the war? Here's what the Vietnam War is really like: shot of blood of American soldiers.
Yeah, there was always somebody. It's a bit like today, but the thing was back then there were people looking at reporting the real truth of what was going on in the situation, so that anybody who was trying to lie about it would easily get found out. There were people who they would report what happens. It was their job to inform.
And what happened was during the Reagan years, news media was bought by the corporations who don't want the truth. So, NBC owned by General Electric, Westinghouse.
Well, it's just like, I don't know if you've ever seen the film Anchorman 2, but it gets very fucking
I never liked Anchorman. I thought it was an
Trust me, watch the second one. It is quite funny. And it does actually get very woke because of the guy who owns it is pretty much an Australian guy who is pretty much supposed to be a representation of what's his face, the one that owns the Sun, Murdoch, and he owns an airline, like an Australian airline, and there's this news report about bits falling off planes that Ron Burgundy wants to run because he's the one that sort of starts all of the sensationalist Fox Newsy type stuff. And showing car chases and sort of wondering just to how black the person driving the car away from the police is and all of that sort of stuff. And he wants to do a report on the airline and bits falling off, and the guy gets the story pulled because obviously he doesn't want to see a news report that's going to harm his shares.
I've seen it. Like I said, I always thought Anchorman was an Alan Partridge ripoff. In fact, that's exactly what it is. And too American for me. American. I don't like the kind of American humor. I don't know.
Whatever it's become.
It's fart jokes.
Fart jokes can be funny if they're done correctly, but they don't know how to do them. They think the fart itself is the joke.
I've never seen a fart joke done correctly.
I have on Beavis and Butthead.
I was just about to say Beavis and Butthead got it right a few times.
Yeah, okay, but that's different. Because they're fucking awesome and you're not. No, okay, so wait, getting back to what I was saying, my thing about... So now the media is in the hands of, let's face it, the same people who run the government.
It's the same little nepotistic group, yeah.
People who, I'm not saying there's not a conspiracy. I'm saying conspiracy nutters are a problem, but there is a conspiracy if you look at who actually runs the government.
Well, I mean, the funny thing is, if you actually showed conspiracy theorists, like, your New World Order Illuminati people, just how kind of close they are until they then go a bit batshit, yeah?
And so my friend
It's
said
like
about
having somebody. It's like having somebody in the Dark Ages
Phil.
starting to go towards the idea that electricity is created by lightning is created by electricity in clouds, and then says that it's put there by the anger of God. So close, you almost had it.
I think it's put there because God had to jizz, and that electricity is God's cum.
Yeah, there we go.
I'd more say it's there
and
because
one
God
thing
needs to shock his nipples.
What, Jim?
One thing I do want to add to this whole thing is it's pretty sad whenever I actually get more out of fucking going to conspiracy nutter sites than just mere entertainment. Like whenever they actually leech onto something that is real and can be verified. And
Yeah.
like it's not mentioned anywhere in the fucking news. That's pretty sad whenever they're the ones getting it right.
That is very sad.
You hear them sort of talking about a global elite, yeah, who are out just to sort of keep it for themselves, and they're sort of colluding with each other. They're sort of on the right lines of talking about like nepotism in class structures, and then it just falls apart at the hill of where it's reptilians in lizard suits.
Or Alex Jones, whatever the hell he talks about.
Oh, I just love the one of him going, because they're putting chemicals in the water that are turning the damn frogs gay.
Yes.
Just that one.
God.
Every time I see Alex Jones, the first time I came across him actually was that interview he had about guns.
Guns, yes.
With Piers Morgan, that unlikable shithead.
Mm-hmm.
And
you know what? Really quickly, tip of the cap to Clarkson for punching him.
No, I blame Clarkson for not actually hitting him. He went to punch him and missed.
No, he punched him earlier.
Pardon?
Yeah, he punched him in a separate incident.
No, there's the incident I know you're talking about. He took a swing at Piers Morgan and he missed.
And then everyone was like, according to Piers, he actually hit him.
Yeah, no, Piers tried to say that he hit him, but other people who were at the occasion said that he didn't, because the thing is, he swung to hit him and he just sort of, you see, the thing is, he probably clipped him with like the cuff of his sleeve, but the actual punch didn't land.
Well, Clarkson, you should get another go at him. Come on.
Anyway.
Well, Clarkson did call him out for a fight, but Piers Morgan's too much of a fucking pussy.
Yes.
That slimy little weasel. He doesn't look like he just crawls out like a haunted mirror into this reality every day.
Isn't that most newscasters, though?
Oh no, you should see him. This one's fucking special.
Oh,
this
God.
guy, like, literally, if I could say anybody who... If he was a character in Recess, he'd be the snitchy kid on the playground. He looks like that. I mean, he does. He literally looks like a snitch. Like, if you saw him in a Matthew, he'd be called Jimmy the Weasley Snitchy Weasel.
All right, on that note, Rushdie warns of new dangers to free speech in the West from 2015.
As he would know, seeing as people still want to kill him in Islamic country. What are you doing over there, Chaz?
Oh,
Very
I'm just
loud.
scraping out my grinder.
What, your meat grinder?
No, my gay dating app.
So
I pick up guys on Grindr and I take them home and then I grind them. Kind of John Wayne Gacy style, except, I take it to that extreme level.
So
and I don't dress up like a fucking clown.
You grind the body parts up. So you're cleaning out intestines and blood. Okay.
Yep. Got to have something to use for lube.
Yes. This show just went down the shithole.
Yay. Anyways,
Well,
violent...
Just before I went up the shithole.
Violence against writers and a misplaced sense of political correctness pose new dangers to freedom of speech in the West. Writer Salman Rushdie said on Tuesday.
Salman Rushdie.
Salman, yeah.
Salman Rushdie. his brother's name's Carp.
Yeah, there we go.
His sister's named Trout.
Rushdie, the subject of an Iranian death threat in 1989 for his book The Satanic Verses, which was deemed blasphemous by many Muslims, said he had not expected freedom of expression to come under attack again to this extent in the Western world.
It was a shit book, by the way.
It seems to me the battle for free expression was won 100 years ago. The 68-year-old told an audience at the opening of the Frankfurt Book Fair under heavy security. The fact that we have to go on fighting this battle is the result of a number of regrettable, more recent phenomena. After Islamist gunmen killed 12 people in January of 2015 in an attack on a French satirical weekly called Charlie Hebdo, we all remember that.
Yeah.
Which had mocked religions, including Islam, Rushdie defended the murdered cartoonists.
Yes, everyone did, actually.
Yeah, until they're like, the other group was like, wait, you're making fun of the fucking oppressed people. Stop it. And then they're like, yeah, please stop making fun of us or else we'll kill you. And they're like, see, we're getting along. And not knowing that we're going to throw everything in the Stone Age if we go that route.
Yay, Stone Age.
He still faces criticism from his religious opponents. The Iranian Ministry of Culture canceled its national stand at this year's book fair because of Rushdie's appearance. And Saudi Arabia protested against a new Czech translation of the Satanic Verses only last week.
You know what? I had to sing it again. Fuck that Middle East. There's too many problems. We just get in the way. We can sure live without them.
Rushdie,
and they wrote that in 85 and then still hangs true.
Fuck. Rushdie criticized restraints on freedom of expression at universities, referring to recent examples in Britain and the United States. The idea that students should not be intellectually challenged at universities is exactly what we should fight, he said.
Thank you.
Ball pits.
Ball pits.
This was written before he knew about the ball pits.
This was written before we knew about the ball pits.
Mm-hmm. The British Indian novelist who went into hiding for years after the 1989 edict by Iranian leader Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini ordering Muslims to kill him has resumed public appearances in recent years and was in Frankfurt promoting his new book. 2 years, 8 months, and 28 nights, a reference to the 1001 Nights of the famous Arabic tales, is described as a novel exploring the complexity of the world by weaving together history, mythology, and love.
Yeah, I did see kind of a funny interview where I think Rushdie was on some British show. They're asking him like stupid questions, like, "What show do you prefer?"
Oh God. Gotta keep it inoffensive because someone might get offended that.
Well, I think it was kind of a satirical. You know, this like guy who's like written books and like is a well-known writer, and and we're gonna ask him softball questions. It's kind of a joke, kind of like when Patrick Stewart comes on American Dad and says the stupidest things. That was kind of part of the joke about why they got Patrick Stewart on like American Dad, just because they like to hear the Shakespearean actor say something mind-bogglingly stupid. Which I must admit was funny at first, and then it just got boring. But I want to hear a Shakespearean actor rap.
Oh boy.
And yo, 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 I slap them hoes.
Rushdie told his audience that all people around the world could relate to stories, so limiting freedom of expression was not just censorship, but an assault on human nature. It prevents us from being the kind of creatures we are. It's not something which is specific to one culture. It's something universal to all human beings.
Duh.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Charles doesn't have anything to say about this.
Sorry, I was reading something at the time.
Fucking idiot.
My attention wandered.
You unprofessional. He is so fired.
Oh, sorry. I just had to fart. Right, I'm paying attention now. What are we talking about?
Rushdie.
Oh, Salman Rushdie. Yeah, well, he did hide out in my country. I mean, to be fair, though, this shows a good point about the criticism of Islam. Salman Rushdie criticised Islam and got a fatwa put against him and had to come and live in the Middle East to avoid being murdered.
You mean live in the UK?
Yeah. And,
And he's there criticizing the PC culture on campuses.
Yeah, because he's the same as what I've been saying about how SJW censorship is no different than blasphemy laws. And that's exactly what he's been a victim of. He's been a victim of blasphemy laws. He's had his life ruined by them. And I mean, isn't it funny how all these SJWs think they're intellectual, but time and time again, the real great intellects of our generation, people like Salman Rushdie, Monty Python, Rowan Atkinson, Stephen Fry, all of these really intellectual people, all these really academical people, seem to be thinking that this stuff is shit. And the only ones that don't are the kind of people who are a bit pseudo-intellectually and do humanities.
I don't know if Rush really had his life ruined. He seems to at least be able to move about and shit. He was actually
he had the life he lived, sort of like the life he lived had to change.
But god damn, wouldn't you just love it if, well, you don't, but wouldn't you just love it if the life you lived had to change, Jim, right now? Just, you have to leave PA and go somewhere new, okay? You have to leave California and go somewhere new. Sign me up.
Yeah, and then just give me the money to get started somewhere and line me up with a job. That'd be good.
But then again, I mean, it's no different to the way whistleblowers are treated, really, is it? They're victims of laws.
With whistleblowers, you can't really expect the government to treat them any differently. I mean, that's the funny thing. They're like, they should be nicer to Edward Snowden. I'm like, dude, you do know that he kind of, I mean, what do you expect?
Well, I mean, no offense. The government was about to curtail the freedoms of the people and break its oath under the Constitution. He had a right to obviously call this out. He had a duty to call this out as a citizen of America.
Governments don't like it when you call them out.
I know, and the only reason they don't is because they like to do shady shit and not get called out on it. And I'm sorry, but consequences. If you're going to do cocaine and sleep with prostitutes in a country where you've made sure it's illegal for those things to occur, then you deserve to go to prison when you're caught with cocaine and hookers. If I go to prison for having cocaine and hookers.
Chaz says cocaine and hookers.
All right.
38, by the way.
Anyways, 9-year-old PA girl in Halloween costume shot with shotgun after being mistaken for a skunk.
What?
Wait, by the way, it's October 21st. Aren't we a little bit early to wear Halloween costumes?
This is actually from 2015. I mean,
Shut
2012.
Up. Shut up. But this is the great state of Pennsylvania that you live in, Jim.
Mm-hmm. And we have Halloween on different nights here. Well, quote-unquote Halloweens or trick-or-treat
I
nights.
know people wear costumes all month. I know. I'm being a freaking old bastard, okay?
Police say that a 9-year-old girl dressed up for Halloween party was accidentally shot by a relative with a shotgun who mistook her for a skunk.
Oh shit, it's a skunk. Oh nah, it's my girl. I killed her.
New Swickley Township police say the girl was wearing a black costume and a black hat with a white tassel.
Looks like a skunk to me.
Chief Ronald Leidenker told Beaver County Times that a male relative fired his shotgun at the girl, who was reportedly wearing a black costume and a black hat with a white tassel, hitting her in the shoulder, arm, back, and neck Saturday night.
Jesus, he just wouldn't stop firing. Also, Beaver County, that's an awesome name.
It was a shotgun. He only needed one shell to hit all those parts.
I didn't ask you for the truth.
Leidenker told the newspaper that the girl was alert and talking when she was flown to Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh, about 30 miles away. Her condition was unavailable. I don't know any follow-ups to this.
I believe what she said was, my uncle needs to stop drinking.
Yeah, really. Leidenker said the man hadn't been drinking, and he doesn't know whether charges will be filed.
See,
Once again, I haven't seen a follow-up.
I ruined the joke. It ruined the joke.
You frequently do.
No one asked you, Charles.
New Swickley police said Sunday that decision will be made in a few days. As I said, there was no follow-up. This is from 2012.
It's just a humorous story.
Yes.
You must have real rednecks in Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was a squirrel. Or skunk. I thought she was a skunk, so I just fired my gun.
Welcome to Pennsylvania, yeah.
New Jersey, Pennsylvania, what's the difference?
There's a big difference. New Jersey sucks worse.
Yeah,
Everyone tells me I made the right call by not going.
Yes, including the person who lived in New Jersey.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
That's awesome.
And this thing is not working with me.
Yay, it hates you. And Chaz is breathing.
Yep, I just want to do it loud enough so you know I'm still here. Just
so
to
you
piss
know,
you off.
Chaz, Elliot,
Yeah.
there's a town in Kentucky called Beaver Lick.
That's great.
I have to drive through that every time I go to my grandparents' house.
Yeah, well, there's places in England like Sandy Balls. And there is actually, I think there is actually a place that used to be called Great Cunt Lane. Used to be...
I think that's where you live, Chaz. That's where you live, Chaz.
Why
am I groping you there?
Oh. I hate him.
Good. I love you too.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
Damn.
beautiful. So anyways, we have Stop Comparing Kids Now. This is another
Stop comparing.
tricycle site.
Stop. It's what site?
Red Tricycle. It's apparently bitching about parents.
Stop comparing kids, damn it. Red Tricycle.
Mm-hmm.
Is it red because the blood all over it?
I do not know. Anyways, she is so tiny, said the random woman holding a baby. Just seconds before she said that, I had said, I already missed that stage, even though I am excited for what comes next, referring to the baby in her arms. She was rocking the little one to sleep, and had just told me upon my asking that the baby was 3 months old.
Oh,
And
she's
delicious.
trying to follow up on the skunk thing.
Yay. Oh, I said I was unsure she was going with her tiny comment. Oh, she's only 5 months, I responded, implying that, of course, she is going to be tiny. Yes, she is my tiny 5-month-old, she said, her words not betraying any emotion. Nope, she is perfect, I said confidently, looking at my baby girl with love, blah, blah, blah. You know when they compare. She continued, even though I had already stopped listening. First of all, who are they? Asked my dead aunt.
The reptilians.
I don't know who they are, but they somehow make like electricity go through wood.
Yes, they make electricity go through wood, and they're reptilians.
Yes.
Yes, I love your story about your crazy aunt.
Who's comparing? And second of all, why are you talking to me?
Why are you talking to me? Don't talk. Who gave you
She
the
started
right?
talking to her. What
I
the?
know, I love that. But every time I hear it, who gave you the right to talk to me?
But you initiated conversation, so I kept.
I stopped
What's
caring.
wrong with these people?
They don't care.
Then to prove her point further, she pulled her phone from her purse, did a few swipes as I observed the corner out of my eye, but not consciously, and shoved it in my face. But you started talking to her, and you expect her not to fucking interact with you.
Yes.
What? The phone had an image of a smiling boy. My grandson is 7 months old, and here's a picture of him. She said proudly as I stared at a plump, full-faced boy.
I couldn't help but notice his eyes said, I want to rip you apart.
They weren't pointing in different directions.
Yes, they were, actually. I was wondering what that was about.
My daughter isn't tiny, your grandson is fat, I wanted to say. But I held myself back because this new wave of superiority that I was just feeling for having restrained myself be of naught.
God, this person sounds like a joy to be around.
This person needs to be executed before they breed anymore and their children given proper parents, because God, you're going to breed sociopaths with a mentality, with a superiority complex like this, dear
Yeah,
fuck.
not the fun sociopaths.
Now we're talking about the ones that'll lay off billions of workers because it'll save them 5 cents to ship the fucking. Fuck you.
And they'll change something to like from 10 cents to $700 or whatever the fuck. You've read the medicine controversy, right?
Yeah. Fucking shit. Yay, Legos. My 5 months old.
I'm just gonna kill him. more people for the water brood. Oh my!
Yeah.
No way!
Yes, perfect.
My 5-month-old daughter is perfect. She is perfect. No, she is human. Of course I may be biased, but I can't help it when she really is perfect. Yes, you're totally biased, and yes, you can help it. Oh, fuck.
See, I don't have that thing. I once called my baby cousin a useless crap dispenser. Because that's all he was, and that's all he still is, even though he's like 8 now.
Sometimes they explode with poop too. Babies are horrid creatures. They have like pimples and things like that. Things you wouldn't ordinarily expect to see on a small child, you know? These are very quite horrid creatures.
Yes.
Oh, God. I don't shove her perfection in your face, though, because I am just not that kind of person. I'm the kind of person that initiates a conversation and expects the person to not interact with me as if I had initiated conversation. The
Yes.
fuck?
Or is that the type of person who go, my dog's awesome, your fucking dog sucks?
We can have a long discussion about the percentiles and what it means to be at or above a certain number, But honestly, as long as my kids are happy and healthy, the numbers mean nothing to me. Just confirmation that they are developing well. What the fuck? I don't even know if that's in regards to.
The perceived, the IQ and shit like that.
Yeah, I know that's what we're talking about, but why bring that up whenever everything's been about how this person is assaulting you by talking with you after you initiated a conversation?
It's called trying to deflect the criticism.
But what criticism? Tiny? Fuck.
Some babies are tiny. I've seen fucking babies that were like 10 pounds or some shit.
As a new mom, however, I did have more insecurities. Obviously.
Obviously.
You have more Fuck. Oh, man. You have more insecurities than the walls of Jericho. Fuck.
That was good. Were you like this when your kid was born?
No, not really. I was more sort of fucking tired because of, like, when my baby was born, we got to the hospital in the middle of the night. I got maybe about a few hours sleep on a really uncomfortable fucking sofa watching the telly, like maybe an hour or so. And I didn't eat anything throughout that fucking day until like about 4 o'clock in the afternoon when her mum came back because she nipped out to go to work while we were waiting for the inducing chemicals to kick in. And then her mother brought me back a couple of cheeseburgers from McDonald's, and it was just like, that was about all I'd eaten. And so I was hungry, I was running on fucking low fuel, and so I was more tired than anything.
No, I mean like the first 3 or 4 months were you like, my child's superior? 4.
Not really. I think my child is better than certain other children, but only on empirical measures. Like, for instance, I know many children who are older than her, who she's actually developing as fast as. So
Yes, but let's be honest. Let's be honest. She's going to murder you in your sleep.
Oh, no doubt, and that'll be the happiest moment of my life.
It'll be the happiest moment.
Would become the master.
It'll be the happiest moment of my life because you'll be dead and I'll never have to hear from you ever again.
On his very first plane ride to Seattle when he was 3 days old, shy of 3 months, we had an old woman comment similarly about him too.
You know what? If you take babies on the plane, I can't even think of a punishment bad enough for you. Because
unfortunately, people do have to take children on planes.
No, you don't. It's called leaving them at home.
Yeah, but you don't always have that option.
Yes, you do.
Might be Okay, so if I was coming to go to, say, visit family abroad,
I didn't say it would be legal or like nice to the child. I just said, but we went to Houston in 2014. On the way back, oh God, crying babies everywhere. 2 hours and 45 minutes of.
You do know you have headphones you can wear on the plane.
Well, actually, we didn't. You know what it's like? It was
so
like
you didn't properly prepare for your flight, and that is somehow.
It was like listening to Nigel Mansell for 2 hours and 45 minutes. Well, yeah, babies on planes. If you bring a baby on the plane, you shall be thrown out of the fucking in midair at 30,000 feet. No objections.
This woman who was in the seat in front of us had stood up, waiting her turn to exit the plane upon landing in Seattle. We were still seated and in no rush to get out until there was more space in the aisles.
See, I think if I landed in Seattle, I think I'd want to stay on the plane and go away from Seattle.
Glancing towards him with all the kindness of a grandma, she complimented him on being an adorable baby and asked us how old he was. Almost 3 months, I declared proudly.
Actually, what she said was, he looks like he needs some tendering up. So he looks very delicious. You know, Hannibal Lecter type.
Oh, such a tiny baby, she said without a pause. I'm not quite sure how I responded to her, but I am sure she exacerbated any insecurities I may have had about his height and weight. Why are you insecure? Babies are smaller than you.
Well, and maybe he'll grow up to be small, short. Who cares?
I have discussed previously how percentiles and competitiveness is really a useless and diminishing thing to do to parents who.
Yet,
You had two people call your kid tiny,
small.
and this is somehow competitiveness.
My kid's not going to be a 6'9" basketball star. Oh no.
Can my brain have a moment to purge thoughts to just murder the first person I see?
Oh, I want to see you do that. The first person will probably be like, some innocent worker guy. How you doing? Ah, what did I do to you? I saw you first.
Yeah, we get bought into this world, this comparison, because our egos are tied to our kids' well-being.
I hope not, because
Only if, like, you're actually trying to live up to society's standards, would you actually let that affect you?
Well, they tried with me, but then they realized that wasn't going to happen.
No, I mean, like, if what your kids are doing in public presents to the world what you are behind closed doors, people get offended by that sort of thing. And they get touchy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah.
Meanwhile, I sold porn on the schoolyard.
And I got into metal at age 8.
I'm pretty sure I was just eating bugs and shit.
Oh, that's good, too.
I first heard Slayer at age 8, and that changed my life.
We necessarily see ourselves reflected in how our kids get presented to the world.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean.
Boy. I hope my parents never watch this, because this is how I get presented to the world.
Dear God, just over the word tiny. Fuck. Our parenting styles, the outcomes of these styles, what we choose to feed our kids at what age, whether we read to our kids or not, how much, and at what age did we start to do this, the content of what we read to our kids.
My parents read me a great story. It was called Horse Fucker.
Mother was best.
Oh yeah, that was a great one. He told the
Shrink. That's what got me out.
not everything else, just the book.
Yeah, that not everyone else saying my dad's a scumbag. No, it had to be the book. If we allow them to play outside the home unsupervised or not, how much time we spend with them in creative activities, how often we take them to parks, and how educational spaces like zoos and museums, if and when we introduce them to music in their lives, whether we make them take a up.
NASCAR actually helped me get into metal because I bought 2 compilate NASCAR on NBC and NASCAR on Fox, and it was like NASCAR and Fox one was like songs they used, but they were metal covers of it. So like Slayer did "Born to Be Wild" and shit like that, and NASCAR and NBC had some Lodi or Metallica. But of course, I was 7, so you don't really, it's like you and Sweating Bullets. But I was like, wow, this is great. I wonder if there's anything heavier out there. So yeah, I got into metal at 7, 8.
Whether we make them take lessons to learn a musical instrument or whether they play a sport or not, every single one of these choices and decisions get weighed on by other people, mostly parents.
I tried guitar, it didn't work. I tried drums, and I can kind of play basic beats.
I'm just sitting here thinking, why are you worried about this shit?
Because clearly this is the yuppie parent, the go, gotta be, you've got, my kid is a reflection on myself, and so my kid has to be me. they're the same people who want their kids to play baseball because they never got or football, because they never got to play football or whatever when they were, or maybe they got past it for the major leagues, so they start playing at 1.
Fuckers. It's just like society's going to judge me by what my kid does.
These are the same people who probably had Michael Jackson, and look how that family turned out. They wouldn't have banned it 3. They never.
God, this just fucking hurt my brain. Perhaps these other parents are trying to find their own place in this arbitrary parenting hierarchy.
Why do you care? Just make sure your kids...
There's a parenting hierarchy.
Like, just make sure your kids don't, murder people, or at least if they murder, they don't get caught. That's it.
You see, we have the fucking lords and the serfs of parenting. Fuck!
Thank you for sending Jim this thing. I think it's broken him.
It's breaking me badly. What the fuck?
Respect to
Perhaps
the
they're playing their own version of an Olympics on raising kids. How is that even a... If I was saying your own version of playing Olympics on kids, I would be mentioning it as, dear God, they're having a good time fucking doing all the cool shit I would have done.
Hey, look, they race snowmobiles.
Oh,
yeah, kids have way more fun stuff than I used to have, and it's way more affordable, a lot of it nowadays. Like, I remember, like, you'd have a pedal car when you were a kid. Now they're all fucking got batteries and they're fucking electric, and you can actually fucking drive them, cunts.
They were electric when I was a kid. We had my sister wanted a Barbie Jeep, but my dad got her a Jeep of a different color because, he's cool. And, let's be honest, why the fuck was Barbie in a Jeep? Yes,
because she comes from the same place as pretty much you do, where all little fucking white girls drive a Jeep for some unbeknownst reason. It's the same over here, mate. We call them Chelsea tractors.
Okay, and let's be honest.
And they're usually Land Rovers.
It wasn't a very good Jeep. It was one of those car Jeeps. But still, I used to love that Jeep. I used to, take it around. And we had the wild thing. And the wild thing was, it was this round thing you sat in, okay? And it had 2 joysticks. The joysticks controlled, one on the left, one on the right. And they controlled wheels. What you could do is if you pulled one forward, one backwards, you started doing 360s. That was fun. But anyway, but we also had pedal cars, and I had a I don't know if you guys know about cozy coupes, the little tiny cars that you get with the fucking, the little kids cars with the plastic roofs, and they,
the ones that look a little bit like smart cars.
I'm just wondering if this is the type of person that sat there at little action figures to plan out their wedding. Everyone walking down the aisles, everything. And I'm not talking about doing this as like a Barbie set or something as a kid. No, I'm talking about doing it as an adult to make certain their wedding flowed 100% perfect. And
yeah, I know the people. But like I say, my kid, because they knew I liked cars. I also had a train locomotive that I used to trundle around in, so they knew I liked cars, so they gave me cars.
You know what I have a vision of now? I have a vision of somebody like building out of like paper and card, like, little models of the church, like they do in action films, like in army films and like heist films, where they build like little models of the town and stuff.
Yep.
And like, putting little sort of plastic figurines on it to represent the people, and then just having like a little kind of Arabian looking one to come in and like pretend it's got a Kalashnikov, as if their wedding's gonna like experience like a terrorist shooting. So they got like the little stick figure, they're like Allahu Akbar, and Christ, yeah, right, we need to head for these exits here.
But no, there are people who...
This is why we should sit the elderly at the back. They could be giving fucking bullet shields.
5.
Well, he's fucking a bit ahead of himself today, isn't he?
Yeah, right? Wow.
He might be breaking the 7 record.
Yeah, I'm just still reeling from this.
But yeah, there are people who plan it out perfectly. I mean, I always said that if I got married, it would be fucking satanic, in fucking a graveyard.
Danamon, why did you torture me?
Thank you. Thank you for torturing him.
Uh,
She has
or
my
may-
respect now.
Or maybe they are doing this simply to feel better about their own choices. No matter the reason, we are always comparing. God, somebody euthanize her immediately, and everyone like her.
Yes. Euthanasia is needed for this, because it's just, I never thought that. Who thinks of things like this?
Needless to say, comparisons become the bane of our existence and those of our children's over the word tiny to describe an infant.
Who is tiny, but maybe he won't be tall. Who cares? I know plenty of people who aren't tall.
But have you ever seen an infant actually 6'2"? I've seen people at
I was gonna say,
who are 6'2" act like infants.
I know
yes,
some mental infants, yes.
but not a literal infant shot straight out of the groin at 6'2".
Ooh, that would hurt.
Yes. God.
But still, like I said, okay, he's tiny, and maybe he's tiny for 3 months. Maybe he won't be 6 foot 2 tall. Okay, but what's wrong with not being 6? I wish I was a little bit shorter. I stand out in the crowd easily. It's fucking annoying. It's kind of hard to.
The worst part is, even well-intentioned parents, including yours truly, may, unbeknownst to ourselves, engage in such behaviors. We must purge the sinful thoughts!
Word.
What the fuck is wrong with these people? Why do they exist? Oh, okay, they got money. The fuck?
Thank you for torturing him.
No, I got him good and knackered.
You have my respect now.
Having grown up as a middle child, I've had my fair share of comparisons and was never a fan.
Well, I was the younger kid, so everything I do is compared to my sister. But I realized I didn't give a shit. And
everything I was the oldest, so I had to fucking set the example. Ooh, wow. And this is how you make a gravity bong. Wow, Cousin Jim, I'm so impressed.
I mean, yeah, there was a time when I tried to one up her, but then I grew up and kind of did my own thing. It was just I like metal, so I'm gonna keep doing this. So I just stopped caring.
Please stop judging me. Accept me as top shit in the universe. That's what this all reads of, and it's all triggered by calling an infant tiny.
Yay.
What's funny about that is that tiny should be okay for infants because if you have gestational diabetes, your kids come out way bigger, and that's a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm fucking. He's like 7 feet tall. And he's like, wah, motherfucker.
Oh, God.
I think the world record right now is 15 pounds?
Jesus.
Maybe a little bit more. I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up. It's up there though, and both of my kids were 5'10" and 5'14" ounces, and I was that was tiny compared to other people's kids.
Yeah.
But it's normal weight for a child to be born anywhere between 5 pounds to 8 or 9, I think.
Yeah. Children are small because
They're still going to be tiny.
If you try to, if you can't really have a 6 foot tall person in your womb. That would be fucking hilarious, though.
Yeah, that was the entire point of Unborn Fetus Man, a superhero of my creation. He was totally invincible as long as he stayed inside the womb. But the moment he left, he would be vulnerable. So he flew everywhere while still inside his mother's womb, dragging her along for the ride. Then his most dreaded enemy was the coat hanger of doom. And he was like, 5 foot, 6 foot tall, still inside the womb.
That must be painful as shit.
Well, yeah, that's why the mother continually tried to abort him.
There is a band called Coat Hanger Abortion. I don't know nothing about them, but there is a band called Coat Hanger Abortion.
I am definitely more conscious of comparisons between my kids and others, and even between my own kids. Tiny. There wasn't even a comparison. It was just fucking.
There was some little old lady saying your kid was tiny, and tiny usually implies cute, so shut the hell up.
Yes, I mean, because once they become untiny, they become me, and I'm many things, but cute I ain't.
Oh,
And also,
God.
as a point, most older people don't remember their kids as well as they remember other people's.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
when you get to a certain age, you have completely reworked your memories in your head. You don't remember exactly what your kids were like.
and by the way, people have reasons. People have theories about why that is. My theory is to erase the horrible scars that the kids gave them, mental scars. I mean.
I would trade anything to get rid of the popcorn poop memories. Oh my god.
Oh, fuck.
Thanks.
Yep.
Or the rancid fucking diarrhea.
It was
That
both,
just
actually.
exploded the whole way up the back because.
Yep.
Now we've literally got down in shit today. It is literally a shit show.
They don't mean much unless they hurt the other party or until they start eating me on the inside. Tiny!
Wait, no, wait. You know what this means, right? The kids. She's not talking about college. She's actually talking about kids. While they're in the womb, they started eating her on the inside, like fucking parasites.
Yes. That would have been the preferred fate for this chick. Her children eating their way out.
You have to work that into Pathfinder somehow.
See, apparently they're sick of her shit, too.
I think there is actually an old Greek mythology about somebody eating their way out of the womb.
His name is Chaswold Almighty.
Yeah, that's how fucking godly I am.
Yay. Favorable or not, I end up admonishing myself for having made the comparison. You're the one comparing in this whole damn thing, and then you're... What?
I don't know.
Then I forgive myself and life moves on.
You know, I compare. I compare my shows to other shows. I was watching Bobcast. I think because Jim uses the show to comment on things, and it was recommended. Chaz, you know who Bobcast is. We were talking about it, and I said,
Yep.
it's a good show, but it's not as good as mine.
I really try, though. Point is, I need to stop. We all need to stop now. Stop calling babies tiny. Because they are.
I think someone's brain's tiny.
Yeah. Oh, why do we do this? Why, oh, why? To what end does that serve a purpose?
To what end does this serve a purpose? That sounds like some Shakespearean shit.
Yeah, it's very poetic.
To what
This
end?
is great. She's Shitra S. Packer.
What?
Shitra S. Packer.
Seriously?
I don't care if I'm fucking misreading the name or not, because that's what I saw. Okay, no. Suchitra, but I missed the U the first time I looked at it.
What the hell kind of name is Suchitra?
I guess we know where
Shitra!
Jim's mind is.
Yeah, this is shit! She's Indian by birth, Canadian by marriage, and U.S. American by choice. Can we
So she
give any
lives-
more identities here?
Is this like Nico Rosberg, the Formula One driver, who was his father's Finnish, he was born in Germany, but raised in Monaco. But so like basically every race in F1's his home track. Yeah. What the fuck?
I am a cultural chameleon and world citizen. I knew you wouldn't fail some more fucking... Fuck.
Citizen of the universe.
I need more identities so that way I can prove I'm everything. I am also a former communication professor turned stay-at-home mom raising my multiracial kids.
So she's like trying to belong to everything here, huh?
Yeah.
Yes. and not that has to make a point of it.
I am a grammar nerd, lover of biscuits and chai, and a fan of the Chicago Blackhawks.
I like
And
biscuits.
blogger.
I like biscuits. I think the Chicago Blackhawks is hockey. Probably the best of the spectator sports, the stick and ball sports, in my opinion. Still
They're
kind of
the
shit.
best of the stick and ball sports, ice hockey. The stick and ball sports.
Excuse me, Chaz. I'm a race fan. Okay, everything else is a stick and ball sport.
Keep in mind, in order to be a communications professor, she had to earn a degree, and this is what she rambles on about.
Actually, I think rugby might be the best just because of how violent it is.
Well, Aussie rules is way more violent.
Aye. Well, the fucking Australians, man.
People like this are earning college degrees.
Damn fucking Australians, mate. Yes, people. Well, you sound surprised. How many ball pits?
Well,
Yeah,
come on, they're not really universities anymore. Even places like Yale and Harvard and Stanford, whilst they still hold some fucking weight in the fields that they were best known as like deep academia, are also now becoming diploma mills.
And
Thanks to this modern day fucking
glorified babysitting.
Yep.
I just take one look at this chick's
home.
I just take one look at this chick's face, and I just imagine myself placing my rectal orifice over her mouth and shitting straight diarrhea for half an hour.
Why is that?
Just so she can taste what she is writing.
And why is that, Jim? Is her face that ugly?
God, she looks like neo-yuppie filth in the highest order.
Well, if you couldn't tell that from the fucking...
Yeah.
But, nowadays we have ball pits and we have teens being treated like little kids when they're teens and 20s, and college is supposed to prepare you for for life. So then you go out and, you go out of this college being treated like a cuddled little baby, and then you go out into everyday life, and then you hang yourself because you can't adjust to it.
Yeah, you're still a school child.
Yes.
That's the thing is, I don't really have much respect for students. To me, they're still school children. They might be of voting age generally, but as far as I'm concerned, they're still fucking children.
I don't have respect for anyone. You know that.
Until you've actually had a proper job, and until you've actually sort of like lived in your own place, not like lived in a house share with a bunch of other fucking wankers.
Well, so it all depends on the mentality. By the way, Chaz, you still work at McDonald's?
All right, mate, just tell everyone where I work.
Hey, Jim worked at McDonald's for...
Yeah, I know, but, we're on a live show, mate. Jesus Christ.
Jim.
I worked at McDonald's too. My grandpa told me anything that pays you is a real job.
Yeah, true. It's not that I'm ashamed.
Well,
it's that I just don't want people knowing my fucking certain parts of my business.
Chaz, how many restaurants are there in the world? What are they going to go down to every single restaurant? Does Chaz work here?
Well, no. People know where I live.
Bum, bum, bum.
Chaz, you live on Mars, okay?
Anyways, how conservatives hijacked religious freedom.
I still love Jim's talk about the drunks coming in at McDonald's.
Double cheeseburger.
And
then the fights as well.
Yes.
I just love that they would walk around for hours, then come back and go, okay, I want this.
Well, these people show up at McDonald's and they think their food's going to just like magically be there. They don't understand that it's cooked to order. It's no different than going to a kebab shop, except they know they're going to wait for the kebab shop. They forget they're going to have to wait at a McDonald's.
See, here it's different. Here it's not cooked to order. Here they make nuggets and then
Set them under a heating lamp and let them sit there for 45 minutes.
Actually, it's a heater cabinet, and it's 20 minutes.
Oh, no.
But here's the thing.
My friend,
That's
friend
what they
who
do
worked
during the day. At night, unless they would be very, very busy, and they knew they were going to be particularly busy at a certain time, at night time everything goes cooked to order.
Nah, my friend has some horror stories
Because
about
you couldn't keep food.
Six.
It really depends on where you're working, because a lot of places
Yeah.
will skirt the whole safety regulation for sure.
Yep. My friend has horror stories about.
So it's not really a safety regulation. It's a very conservative effort that's about ensuring food quality over food safety. I mean, if it's kept at 60 degrees, it'll be good for a long time in terms of safety-wise, because bacteria can't propagate. But at the same point, like, the food becomes very dry and rubbery and nasty.
Yes, and that's my experience with McDonald's. My friend was telling me a story. He worked at McDonald's, and he was like, "Oh, this has been sitting under the heating lamp for 20 minutes. What do you do?" And the boss was, "Just keep it on there." But just keep it on there. And they sold 3-4 hour old cheeseburgers and chicken nuggets.
Yeah, they should be doing that shit.
And they used to. I'm not even going to tell you what they used to do.
I mean, I'm not entirely against the idea of, when it comes to the 20 minutes, if the food quality is still reasonable, and obviously the food safety is perfectly sort of looked after by the conditions. Because McDonald's is like a sterile factory. It's almost like a theatre of food.
So you have higher standards in England. People will eat rubbery fucking food. Anyway, Jim.
There's been an amazing backlash against Indiana law signed by Governor Mike Pence back in 2015 that appears to give business owners broad rights to discriminate against LGBT people by citing religious freedom.
You know what the funny thing about that is? NASCAR actually was against this bill, and yet Brian France, the president of NASCAR, endorsed Trump.
Yay.
Further proof that Brian France is a fucking douchebag. Oh wait, I knew that 13 years ago.
The backlash is so rampant that Pence already started dodging and weaving and pretending that this bill has nothing to do with gay people. Which
it never happened.
Technically, no, it didn't. Had to do with right of association, and you're not thinking like the free market where you could just protest these businesses and they go out of business because no one's giving them money.
Jim, shut up. Stop ruining the narrative. God.
Oh, God.
Right? It's just... Jim's ruining it.
Even though when he signed it, he made certain to surround himself with anti-gay activists.
There we go.
So that's exactly what this is all about.
And Pence, by the way, in case anyone's wondering, the reason he jumped on the Trump boat is because if Trump ever actually wins, weirdly, you know that he's going to be the acting president.
Yeah, really.
People are like, no, that's not why. It's like, you people are deluded.
The backlash is kind of surprising when you consider that it's already legal to discriminate against LGBT people in Indiana without having to pull the Jesus card to do it. Pence's maddening dishonesty about might be fueling the rage. Lying plus bigotry is a toxic combination. Yes, turn everything into a mathematical formula that makes no sense.
Lying plus bigotry equals
everything on all sides of the political spectrum.
I mean, my whole thought is businesses serve who they want to serve. I'm sorry.
If they don't serve me, they're not getting my money, and guess what? I'm going to tell people they don't serve me there. In fact, I told enough people one time that a bar closed down. I know I wasn't the only reason, but I know that them not getting business was part of it.
We don't need a law to say you have to bake cakes for gays. all we need to do is just agree that if somewhere wants to have that sort of attitude, then they're going to suffer the consequences of not making money from gay weddings. It shouldn't even need to be an argument that's had. No one should be that fucking stupid to think, I definitely don't want that guy's money simply because he likes sticking cocks up bums, which has nothing to do with the making of a cake.
And fine, okay, you know what? Fine, it's stupid, it's idiotic. But you know what I'd do if someone didn't serve me? Find another place.
Yeah.
I just, you know, would I tell my friends? Yeah, but it'd be more to laugh at them than anything. But I would go.
Well, here's the thing: anybody who's ever worked, if you listen to any of the sort of like the sort of like big retail, big customer orientated industries leaders, that they say this whole thing of you give somebody a good experience, they'll take maybe two people. If you give them a bad experience, if you give them a reason to dislike you, they will talk about it. We are programmed as part of the herd to share concerns. We will. If we get annoyed about something, we love to rant about it, and we'll tell everybody, like, oh, you won't believe what that fucking Chinese did to me. Their food was late, it was cold, half the order was missing. I phoned them up, asked them to replace it. They said no and were rude and hung up. So do you know what?
Debunk that easily. I can debunk that at least for myself. Jim, how many times do I tell you about radio stations and radio shows that I love?
Enough.
Wolf Lair Radio, everyone.
Yeah.
Black Knight Meditations. Support those. Wolf Lair really introduced me to black metal. Black Knight Meditations plays everything from Iron Maiden to Archgoat. Two things you must support. So I'm very interested in promoting businesses, things that I like and have treated me well, and / or play what I want to hear, because you don't get that anymore. You know, you turn on the radio and I may hear a Metallica song from the Black Album, but I turn on Wolf Lair Radio and they're playing Dark Fury.
There we go. Another thing is, these people didn't God, this is one thing people just gotta learn from fucking history. Every time you fucking get the law involved against something like this, where it's pitting, the government against something that should be a given freedom, you're going to turn the person on the fucking shit end of the stick into a martyr, regardless if they're right or wrong. And it's gonna get like-minded people to give them money.
Yep.
If they would have just told their friends this place is shit, because they didn't give me a fucking cake, that fucking baker would be under and that family would be financially suffering. No, they're getting fucking money out the ass from donations to this day over that
the bakery
shit.
did go under.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
I heard they're still getting money till this day.
Well, they may still get money, but the bakery, I believe, went under, or at least is going under.
Yay.
But still, they might get money, but still the bakery apparently isn't doing well. That's what I heard. Feel free to correct me on this.
Yeah, the bakery's not doing well, but they're still getting money. How does that work?
Yeah. Well,
because you turned them into martyrs, you fuckers.
Yeah, but you really don't want to put all that money into the bakery, because.
Do you know what? South Park was really good this week, and it's kind of salient at this point. And because in it they're talking about sort of trolling, and Carl's dad is a prolific internet troll, a very famous internet troll called Skank Hunt 42, and right, his whole trolling is he looks for people. It's not just to upset the cancer victim. It's all about all of the people who will jump on the bandwagon to virtue signal the treatment of the cancer patient. And then what you'll have is a bunch of people who will eventually get sick of these people's pious sanctimony, that they will then jump in on the other side to try and call these people away from the edges of extremism. You just and that perpetuates more and more of the growth, and it is actually a scientifically backed up idea with how memes propagate.
I can tell you that South Park was shit this week because it was South Park. Anyway.
South Park's actually quite good these days.
If you like American humor, sure.
Some American humor isn't that bad. A lot of
Yeah,
it is
like Duckman.
and on a whole, yes, I'll agree with you that American comedy as a whole is shit, but there are a few outliers out there, and I would say South Park on the whole should be considered, at least to some degree, an outlier.
I stopped watching South Park after season 5. I'll be honest, when they went more to the satirical thing, it just got to the point, oh yeah, who are they gonna make fun of this week? It got boring. I got bored. Anyway, continue.
There's another factor that's helping push this past the tipping point of another story about conservative bigotry to national scandal. Liberals are getting fed up with this ridiculous conservative push to redefine religious liberty to mean its opposite.
Whatever. I don't care. Hail Satan.
Using it as a phrase to justify Christian conservatives forcing their religious beliefs on you and depriving you of basic religious freedom.
Well, yeah, that's what they do. Reform means, they got the word reform to mean make it less reform. Clean air to make the air less clean. So yeah, of course they're going to do that. What amazes me is that liberals are surprised by it. Truly, they don't actually do the research.
They're just saying the right things. They're not actually doing the right things is the issue.
Mm-hmm. Up until recently, most of us seemed to understand that the best way to maximize religious freedom for everyone was to stay in your own lane. You choose what you believe, but if you start trying to force your beliefs on others, that's when a line has been crossed.
You don't see me trying to convert anyone.
And while conservatives grumbled about it, there was widespread acceptance of the idea that force meant zero introspection here. Oh, God, because it works both fucking ways.
Introspection? Jim, you're not speaking English.
Yeah, I know. Fuckers. For instance, was violating religious freedom. A shop owner who refused to serve Jews would also be considered in violation, in most people's eyes at least, and that would cost them business and force the business to go under.
Or, actually, you may actually get love from the Nazis. It may be one of those like little Nazi dive bars. Those things are scary places.
Yes. But in the past few years, we witnessed a dramatic and surprisingly successful effort to redefine religious freedom to mean empowering Christian conservatives to force their dogma on non-believers. First off, oh God.
This must be written by an atheist.
You're saying it's recent that, like, there have been Christian groups trying to redefine it as that. Second, zero introspection in attempting to force your beliefs on others.
Anyone who says dogma, I just take as someone who's just, Yeah.
It really started when the HHS passed a regulation requiring insurance plans to cover contraception without copay. Many conservative employers revolted, claiming that their religious freedom should allow them the right to deny workers coverage of procedures or medications they don't like.
It's my freedom to make people fucking have 8 children and contribute to overpopulation.
God.
Welcome to the Catholic Church.
Yes. You're mentioning something idiotic. Huh?
Welcome to the Catholic Church.
Yeah, I know. Every sperm is sacred.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to America in general. It's incredibly hard to get sterilized in this country.
And abortion is murder. Silent screams.
What they don't want to sterilize people too much, you see.
Yeah,
they need to ensure
Wait.
Population growth to keep their investments happy.
Chaz, we're going to disagree on this. I would sterilize them and then just nuke them and have the population go down by about 99%.
Yeah, but that's not what these people want to do. I mean, no one's talking about you. Not everything is about you, Blindy.
Yes, it is, because I'm blind and I'm awesome. And everything's about you, Brit.
Everything should be about the British because we're awesome.
Oh yeah, so awesome. You're about to dissolve.
No, we're not. Britannia's still got plenty of life left in her.
No, it
We
doesn't.
haven't triggered Article 50 yet. We don't actually have to.
Yeah, but you're going to, and Scotland's going to go, you British bastards.
Doesn't
That's
matter.
why
We did it once. We can do it
That's
again.
why horrible. and by the way, Jazz, you're so good. Britain's so great. You really held on to America.
Well, we kind of let you go. You were kind of a bit of a damaged cause.
Yeah.
We had a decision. We could divert attention away from fighting the Spanish and the French, and keeping all of the other European nations in check, or we could go and hold on to a piece of land full of wankers. I mean, who's really got the worse half of the 1776 deal? I don't think it was Britain somehow.
So then you went home, drank some tea, and shipped some convicts to Australia.
Yep. I mean, let's look at Trump and Hillary. How's that Declaration of Independence doing there? Feel good yet?
Theresa May,
In no way as bad as Hillary.
David Cameron. Tony
Still
Blair.
in no way as bad as Theresa May's worse than Cameron. In no way, fucking.
True. You win this round.
And our Bernie Sanders actually won the nomination. What does that say about you?
Yes, and he's probably a little more genuine. You win this round, you British puff.
Materially, it was no different than an employer claiming he cannot practice his religion freely without being able to go to his employee's house and take away any books he disagrees with that she bought with her paycheck.
That would be interesting how that would work on this show. Because Jim, you are a
fuck.
kind of a deist kind of thing.
Yeah.
Chaz is a
atheist. And yeah, we all get to fucking choose each other's books, but I'm still wondering how we went from a business refusing to do business with someone to an employer fucking with their employees.
No, because they were talking about the abortion thing. Basically, contraceptives. Basically, that the corporation said it's a violation of religious freedom.
Yeah, the Hobby Lobby bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gave them the same rights as private people. So essentially, as a private citizen, I can choose not to go to a gay wedding, yeah? But as a business, it becomes more into a different moral quandary as to whether or not I should have the right to choose not to cater a gay wedding. And there is some valid arguments as to why the two should be treated in some ways differently.
If you don't want to cater a wedding for whatever reason, and you're willing to lose business because of it.
Well,
fine.
we know what mainly happens. You get these, a lot of these stories are Ahmed clocks, where really it's not that the bakery won't bake a bunch of puffs of wedding cake. It's the fact that they phoned up a bakery that doesn't do wedding cakes, doesn't make wedding cakes.
But like, okay, look. How is? Let's say we run a business, Swine Brothers Catering. Okay, how is this different from? I don't want to cater for this guy. He's an asshole. I don't want to deal with him. He's an asshole. How is that different from?
I mean, that guy being an asshole is in some ways his own choosing. But somebody not serving somebody because they're gay or black, these things aren't of their own choosing. So you're punishing for somebody for a transgression that they have no help in. And to a degree, it's like, yeah, there should be freedom, but then we do have to also answer the concern of what happens when gay people actually can't buy a wedding cake. What happens when gays are being denied the ability to get married? What happens when where the freedom to choose is really actually just becoming an oppression in and of itself.
Maybe then they'll realize that marriage is overrated anyway.
It's like, for instance, the difference between having the freedom and not having the freedom to encroach on other people's freedoms.
I mean, I think a lot of it is, like I said, I've had places that wouldn't serve me before. You walk into a fancy restaurant with a G.G. Allen t-shirt, you know what you're going to get, right? Hey, Jim?
Mm-hmm.
But I just walked out and went to McDonald's and ate some 5-hour-old chicken nuggets.
Yeah, and that is generally the best response to that situation.
No. You know what the best response is to that situation? Here's what the best response is. So, for whatever reason, gay, black, underage, well, like a CD store, if you get carded for a record and you're under 18 or whatever, you reach into your wallet and you take out all the money you have. Please carry around some cash for this. It works. You go, see this? This was all the money I was going to spend on your store at your bakery, and I was going to tell all my friends that you baked a good cake or whatever. But now that you're not going to do this, I'm going to take this money across town, and I'm going to tell all my friends. Make it public that you're going to tell them this. I've seen store owners actually go, you know what? You want the CD? Fine. I mean, make sure they know that.
Well, no, this is the thing. People in business should just know this. Like, if I run a pub, somebody comes in and they have a good experience drinking in my establishment. There's a good atmosphere. The drinks are reasonably priced for what they get. They don't feel like they've paid more than they need to, or, they don't feel like the quality is not quite up to the price.
Yeah.
And, they'll come back. They'll bring more people. They'll tell other people to go there. Like, someone goes, I fancy going out for a drink with the girls tonight. Where shall I go? Oh, well, me and the fellas went to this great place last weekend down on this street called the da-da-da-da-da. You should go in there. It was really nice. If I give those people a bad experience,
they're not going to go there.
People aren't going to suggest it in that conversation. They're also going to, if somebody says to them, oh, what do you think of da-da-da-da place? Oh, I went there once. I had this experience, I got a really shitty drink. It was the beer was flat. I asked them to pour it. They didn't bother. The glasses weren't that clean. They were all covered in watermarks.
There was a shit stain on the table.
Yeah, you can quite clearly tell this is a place that's that isn't doing proper glass cleaning.
I have a story.
Isn't ensuring quality.
And then we'll get back to the story, the actual. My friend went into a record store and bought, some records. I think it was Slayer and Cannibal Corpse, and I think maybe a Morbid Angel and a Burzum record. He was like 16 or whatever, but he was not new to this whole death metal and black metal thing, right? And he was carded. Basically, oh, you can't buy this. You have to be 18. And he basically showed them all the money he had, and he went, well, fine. There's the store that's down that's across town, and the manager literally looked at, because he actually had to speak to the manager. The manager looked at him and goes, all right, fine, just this once, because he was aware that he was going to lose money, that he was not going to get money. So he actually got to buy his records, and later on the store actually relaxed their policy, because the whole you can't buy records if you're 18 unless you're 18 thing is bullshit anyway. Anyway, Jim.
There's a major and frankly obvious problem with redefining religious freedom to give people the right to impose their faith on others. How do you decide whose beliefs are the trump?
To work at Swine Brothers, you must believe in Satan.
Yay. Because, let's be honest here, Christian conservatives don't support a full-throttled legal right to impose your beliefs on others. If I had a store and banned Christians from shopping there, they'd scream bloody murder. I've actually been to places that have done that, and Christians have left them the fuck alone because they're places they didn't want to be anyway.
Like bars and fucking bookshops that sell black magic books and shit. No, yeah. but if you, but we're not talking. If you started a Walmart style store and banned Christians,
Yay! Enjoy the profit margin going down, because that's
No,
pretty much all we got around here.
but that's the thing though. The Christian was scream bloody murder, and yet if they ban Jews or whatever, it's whatever.
True.
6, I think.
Yay!
Is
Something
it
around
6? Chaz.
That would be, I think, number 7 now, isn't it? I think I had
Yeah.
another one in between then. Yeah, that's number 7. If he has one more, he's broken the record.
7. It's a new cigarette record.
there.
Do you know what? We should just do articles about smoking next week. Like Monday, we should just do a special on smoking articles. Like, look at some old articles from the past which are pro-smoking. Look at some of the modern articles, the anti-smoking ones. Look at some of the weirdo, crazy ones, which are kind of like try to go, oh, if you smoke a cigarette, you'll abuse your child, sort of level of nonsense.
We'll see what Jim says.
Maybe we'll see what's around.
Maybe I'll occasionally start whispering the word tobacco. Just while Jim's talking and he's not fully concentrating. See if I can use the power of suggestion to make him smoke more.
Yes.
Like literally, we should start putting bets on. We should start like maybe a little bookies sort of thing for this. Like the people watching, when they watch live, they can actually join in. They can join the bookies, and we'll have like a little illegal betting situation going on the internet.
One is forcing your faith, religious liberty, and one is it just being a dick. Zero right to introspection here.
No.
Right now, the uncomfortable answer is when the belief is in question is a mainstream and conservative one.
Or a liberal one now.
Yeah.
Because they do the exact same thing, but just flip the scales.
And this is why liberals are revolting. No, you're not. You're doing the same damn thing. The religious freedom question was best handled by telling people to mind their own business. Not just because it's the fairest way to deal with this, but also the simplest. Christian conservatives want to pinch away everyone else's religious freedom by creating a society full of coercions, denials of service here, penalties at work there, that make it hard for people who disagree with them to live their own lives as we see fit.
Yes, and so do you. I mean, how many times did I get shit for not even an atheist when I stopped being an atheist? Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I got death threats from atheists. Because I was a brainwashed Christian, apparently. And I said, no, I'm not. He's like, the same thing. I was like, no, it isn't.
If we don't stand up to this now, they will keep turning up the heat. Okay, Antifa, enjoy.
Yeah, right? And now you're going to get... And you wonder why Trump is so popular.
Mm-hmm. Because they didn't stop to say, hey, we're doing the same damn thing we're complaining about.
Nope. And now you've got Trump versus Hillary. Enjoy your choices, folks. Yeah.
And finally, man barred from going near stables after having sex with a horse.
Jim, I keep telling you not to do this.
God damn it.
But you won't listen to me.
Horse fucker.
I just thought of Roadrunner, the theme for Roadrunner, but horse fucker.
Yeah.
Yes, nice.
Shane Trafford Taylor Waters.
That's a redneck name for you. Shane Trafford Taylor Waters.
36 filmed himself carrying out a sex act with a horse on his phone at Town Bent Stables in Lancashire.
Oh, this is Britain. Hello, Chaz. Lancashire.
Oh, I'm just being quiet now.
A court heard it. A court heard it wasn't the first time. God, this bestiality porn's got to come from somewhere.
I like that Chaz. We finally found a story that shut Chaz up.
Well, I mean, this is what I can't say much about this. No, there in every fucking society there is the fucking untermensch that. Well,
Yeah, but
unfortunately, you can't really clean out. You kind of need them to do things.
your society is so fucking. We're so much better than Americans. We don't have that wishy-washy riffraff. And I'm like, dude, have you seen stock car racing? Your idea of stock car racing is basically hit the other guy, and if he doesn't get out of the way, hit him harder in British touring car.
Yeah, that's the whole point of racing. It's like bumper cars. If you're being in the way of where I'm going to drive, well, then it's your fault for being in my way.
Yes, that's how the
Like
Brits
if you don't know that the rules that the person who has right of way at the roundabout is me, well, it's not my fault if you end up hitting my car.
Yes, but
swerve into you.
The difference is in stock cars, British touring car, it's where I'm going to be a lap from now, but I just happen to be there now, so get out of my. I mean, it's in America. I mean, you can say a lot of things about NASCAR, but it's not that bad. Although I love British touring car. I like to make fun of the Brits' kind of superiority complex.
When he was a teenager, Taylor Waters was cautioned for the same offense of sexual penetration on an animal.
Equine phallic impalement.
He was caught when the horse's owner spotted a substance on the floor of the horse's back leg.
Yes. Oh, that's disgusting. Disgusting.
She contacted police, and Taylor Waters told them that he heard a firework go off, so he had gone to calm down the horse. Firework went off. I had to calm down the horse, so I fucked it up.
That's an interesting way of calming down an animal.
But in a second interview, he admitted to gratifying himself with the horse.
His name was Chaswold.
His lawyer, Richard Prue, said, "My client says he made images so he could look back with revulsion at what he had done rather than show it to someone else."
I doubt it.
I highly doubt it.
There's not many people you can show that. It's not really something you can bring up in a conversation. You know, it's like, what did you do yesterday, Terry? Oh, nothing much. Just sat in, watched the football, had a couple of beers. All right, I fucked my dog. Here, have a look at the photos.
That needs to be a skid somewhere.
Just type in horse fucker porn and then click on the images. Make certain the safe search is off.
Yes. Yes, there's a booming market for things like that.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think we should really come down on people for watching images. It's for making the images, for doing the act, yeah? Having sex with the animal should be against the law, because there's all sorts of problems that arise from it. The watching of somebody fuck a dog shouldn't be illegal, because you have not actually imparted any harm.
Well, whenever you see a woman just get on all fours and the horse jumps right on with absolutely no resistance, jamming it straight in her cunt, you have to wonder a few things. How the hell is she able to take that massive of a piece of meat without any resistance whatsoever, where it just slides perfectly in?
Because of the cock of a horse isn't like when a horse is hard. It's not the same as when a human's hard. It's kind of almost like when a human's semi-hard.
I've seen this, yes, but at the same time, it is the size of my fucking arm.
Yes, but it actually...
And even shrunk down, it only goes down to half the size of my arm, which is still fucking huge.
Well, actually, it just sort of tucks up inside. Like some of our penis is actually up inside us.
Chaz, I have a question. How do you know so much about horse cocks? Are you confessing to
Funnily enough, somebody who was an expert in studying horses was involved in this conversation with me a long time ago. Like somebody who grew up on a stud farm and did studying of horses. who knew about these things, because basically the vagina isn't made to really take like a horse's cock, as if it was like fucking as hard as a human male's is, and so it is kind of floppy, and so the vagina actually constricts the penis, and it's actually to help with the horse's ejaculation.
Yeah, okay, Chaz. Yeah.
Happens.
Is
So
that the
that's why it goes in with very little resistance, plus that women can stretch quite impressively. I mean, after all, they give birth to a baby, so that's the girth thing sorted.
But what he was saying is that she must have had practice before. But yes, Chaz, okay, that's your story, whatever. We believe you. We believe that you haven't been indulging in extracurricular activities.
Meanwhile, I admit I have seen horse fucker. God.
I'm not so sure Chaz hasn't participated.
Since his second police interview, he has sought psychiatric help, and it is clear he needs help rather than punishment.
Why did you fuck this horse? It was wearing really sexy horseshoes.
It's not a straightforward case, and the bench should have the fullest information before sentencing.
Yeah, no shit.
A horse is a horse, of course. And no one can fuck a horse, of course, that is, of course, unless the horse is the famous Mrs. Gertrude.
Well, that's a weird way to end the show, hon.
Oh, God.
Thank you.
Yes. We couldn't get enough horse fucker.
Yes, we couldn't get enough horse. Oh, he's only done 7.
I know, don't worry, we'll break the record next time.
We'll break the record. Is that all you got?
That's all I got.
All right. Well, this has been the Swine Brothers and sister, apparently, show, episode 119 for whatever the day it is, 2028. You can email us at cosmicgodsdie@gmail.com. Facebook is Swine Brothers, and Twitter is SwineBros666. For Danamon, you said 3 words. For Chaz, who apparently indulges in some interesting activities with horses. For the Jim, who's seen some interesting activities with horses. I am your host, Elliot Lindemood. So long. Good night. Bye.
And I've just seen a chick shit out a softball and go bowling with it straight from her ass.
And don't forget to kill Whitey.
I actually waited till you said that because I'm tired of you bitching.